a first sync and then a sync.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll maybe do
two
syncs.
We'll do two. Okay, you start and then we'll do a sync.
Okay.
Right.
Three,
2,
1, button.
Go.
You said I should start.
I didn't mean talk.
Oh, I thought you wanted me to do the button.
No.
I've never done it before. I thought you were giving me a new job. I got real excited.
Yeah, so just prepare to...
It'll be great.
It'll be perfect.
Y'all motherfuckers don't watch us play throughout the year, to tell you the truth. I'm gonna be real with you, and I don't care if I get fined.
That train is off the track.
I feel like you can't just like jump through Neptune and be okay.
Just prepare to...
What the show needs is more dogs and bears and chickens and stuff.
Yeah, so just prepare to be awash in unbeatable goodness.
Coming to you from Indianapolis, Indiana, I'm your host, Joey Gaffrida, the man behind the dials. This show, we're going to discuss Game 4 of the NBA Finals. Took place earlier this evening at the Fieldhouse. Joining me this show are all three of our analysts, coast to coast, like buttered toast. First, from the other side of the table, in Indianapolis, it's the doctor, Jason Triplett.
What is up, Pacers fans? What is up, Undebeatables? Shout out to Flag Day.
Shout out Flag Day.
We're here.
Happy Flag Day, everybody. From Asheville, North Carolina, he's our in-house bartender mixing up the drinks in the cup of jingles. It's the President Podcast. John Colson.
What is up, Pacer Nation? What is up, Undebeatables? I want to shout out you guys. I'm a sad little boy right now, and I need you guys with me, and I appreciate you being here.
We'll tuck you in, bud. We'll take care of you.
Thanks. I wouldn't say inconsolable, but I'm definitely a pretty tough hang right now.
Well, we're here. We're here. You can let it all out. We'll work through this.
Okay.
And also from across the table, holding down the north side of the table. Also from Indianapolis, it's our enforcer, John Harper.
What is going on, fellas? Great to see you guys. Shout out all the people. It's great to be in Indiana. Shout out Jarrett, who made it to the game and we got to meet. That was very cool. Shout out to my mom's birthday today, Flag Day.
Shout out.
And no one else's.
Nobody else's birthday.
Well, before we get into the show, I do want to remind just listeners, just real quickly here, that they can support us, and thanks to everybody who's done so. They can support the longest running Pacers podcast, as some have called it, the granddaddy of Pacers podcasts, by heading over to patreon.com/undebeatables and support our show for as little as $1 per month. All right, team. The reason we've gathered here today is we went to Game 4. The three of us did. The Indianapolis crew did. And this was, this evening, Friday, June 13th. The Pacers were looking to go up 3-1 and bring the title home in 5. But what had happened was a little bit different. Pacers lose 104-111 with, it was an exciting game, if nothing else. The crowd was batshit bonkers. What level were we at? Was the electricity on fire? Where were we?
I think it was. We hit that level. We hit the if you love yourself level.
The crowd was wild. Matt Skander outperformed the Pacers they closed the game. Pacers came out of the gates fire, like just just bombing threes. 7 minutes left in the quarter. It was 20-12. Pacers were up, forced a timeout. End up with 35 in the first, taking a lead in out of the first quarter. 25-23. The scoring settled down in the second quarter, but Pacers take a 3-point lead into halftime. And we came out of the gates into the second half, firing all cylinders, forced a timeout. Crowd is insane. And, I mean, I don't know if this is what happened to everybody else, but I felt like, oh, this is going the way we want, and we're on the path. And it turned around. And OKC and SGA closed the game. We scored 15 he scored 15 in the fourth, and we as a whole squad scored 17, and they win. There was plays we can get into. For the most part, I think it was just a lot of little things that kind of happened at the same time, and ended up on the wrong side of the score sheet for us. But before we get to that, what's your experience? You guys are both in town for the game, and both got in this morning, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's been a long day.
Yep.
A long day.
An exciting trip getting here. So haven't had a whole lot of sleep the past few days, but I mean the whole city. I mean it was just an electric place to be today. It was just a really cool environment. Everybody. Even at the airport, you see all the people with the Pacers jerseys, and you're pumping fists, and everybody was so excited for this game, and just being downtown, it was just a really cool environment. This place was amped, and you guys are absolutely. I sat down during free throws. That was like free throws and timeouts. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
The crowd was juiced.
Yeah, and the Pacers were keeping us juiced. Like, I thought the Pacers played excellent basketball through, what would that be? 24 minutes plus 9. What's that? 33 minutes. I've been up for almost 24 hours.
Yeah.
So. And then the close of the third quarter, really into the fourth quarter, was the change for me. OKC ends up closing the quarter out only down 7. So you went from a stretch where the Pacers could have really blown it open to 14 or 16 points, and now they're only down 7. And you give a team like that a hope, and they're going to take advantage of it basically. And then I thought that the offense just bogged down. I mean, their defense ratcheted up a touch,
Sure.
I would say, but not crazily, but I just thought we just lost our way.
Yeah,
Tyrese was aggressive. He was getting to the bucket.
He was, but guys were out there guys were running into each other on the perimeter. Guys were just not where they were supposed to be, and started to look confused. I don't know if that was, we're not used to seeing our team, the team that looks fatigued, but that is the way that it looked, towards the end of the third quarter, really, when we start missing free throws and shots coming up short, and then just bad offensive possessions really in the fourth, and failed to capitalize and put a nail in that coffin.
What was it like from the TV, Colson?
I had the sound on, but I was outside in a rainstorm, so it was hard to get the sound of the crowd, which I'm sad about, because I really loved having that in Game 3, just listening to Indiana just losing their minds. I was just reading the we had on closed captions, so you're just listening to the national media talk about how great OKC is, and it was frustrating. I was very upset by the calling fouls before the ball comes in on Mathurin. You just can't call those at the last minute of a finals game. You just can't do it. blew my mind. I mean,
Twice.
yeah, twice, back to back.
I mean, were they agree? I mean,
Well, I mean,
least-
the first one he grabbed Shea's hand, and he had him by the wrist, and he just pulled it, and it was very obvious. When it just looked obvious when he pulled his hand. So they called it, but you just can't call that. You just really can't call that. And then the other one, they just got tangled up, like they ran into each other. And I guess you could call that since there's multiple bodies on the floor, but the first one just outrageous. I don't want to say that the refs lost us this game. We missed a bunch of free throws. We played very poor offense down the stretch. A lot of one-on-one stuff, a lot of dribbling around and not being decisive. You're right, Harper. It felt like we were the tired team, the fatigued team. We just fell apart, and this is what it feels like on the other side for other fan bases, right? We've been, just to see your team just
We've been
have
doing
a
this to teams all postseason.
bunch of mental errors and, all of the things that had to go wrong went wrong so that we could lose that game. And it's just really, really frustrating. People were asking me how I was feeling at the start of the fourth quarter, and I was like, well, I'd rather be up 7 than down 7, but I really feel like we should be up by more, and I'm real nervous. And
Yeah.
Shea's really hard to cover, especially when he's allowed to just travel and fall over and all this stuff. But I mean, I guess it doesn't. You got to beat him, and we didn't do it. So, God, Ben.
Yeah, I mean, it's frustrating. We outscored them by 24 from the 3-point line.
Yep.
I don't think that's going to happen again in this series. So
did
that's
we end up winning the
frustrating.
rebounding battle? We were up at half.
No,
No.
-10.
We got
Oh,
murdered
okay.
on the glass. Yeah.
Yeah, Chet Holmgren pulled down 15.
It felt bad in the second, but
Yeah, and indeed it was. They cleaned up that part of the game. Long game, total of 70. I think 71 free throws was the final tally in this thing. Spent a lot of time at the line, which
it didn't feel more than 65 or something.
I mean, and that helps OKC in a couple ways, right? Not only are they a team that shoots 80% from the line, right? They only shot 5 more free throws than us, but obviously they did a better job hitting theirs. But also it slows the game down, and that's really what OKC needed, right? They needed some extra time. There was some gamesmanship from their guys, earning some extra timeouts, just slow off the bench, slow off the court, just messing with the refs. Like they were earning a lot of free time between plays, and that really, I think, it certainly wasn't an accident, right? They got a little bit of extra rest, and it was just enough for them to clear this game. Now, obviously, we get the same amount of rest as they do, but they in the words of SGA, they managed to suck it up and get it done.
Yeah. I mean, you said, Colson, you felt like we should be up more at the end of the third. I kind of felt that way throughout the game. I felt at the end of the first quarter. I mean, what did you say, Joe? We scored 20 points in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then kind of slowed down a bit, but it felt like we should have been up 10 after that first quarter. And I mean, I guess this is a testament to how good OKC is as a team. Like, I was doing the math. I'm like, how do we, because we were beating them by so much at the 3-point line. I was like, how do they have, how were they close to us? I don't understand, but they were.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch the first quarter, and settling down in my seat and going, why is it, can anybody tell me why it's 35-34? Isn't anybody playing any defense? And Erica was like, they just scored 9 in a row, and that's why it's close.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, that's a bad sign.
It's a game of runs. These things happen. Coming down the stretch, what are we down? Cranking down to a minute. We're down 5 or something.
Yeah, 4 and 5, depending
And-
at times.
Looking for a little magic to happen. Managed to steal ourselves an inbound pass. Matherin trucks it up the floor, looking to cut it to, I think, 3 points at that time.
Yeah, one
And,
possession game.
Yeah, and just goes up there and just does not hit either, which is not good.
And it's not like him.
it's not like him, and obviously he was very upset with himself after that. And then then we get the off the ball fouls. Well, then he gets called for an off the ball foul, and then he misses the front end of another two. Not a great end to the game for Matherin. Would it have made a difference? I mean, hard to say, but that to the extent that we had a window to make some magic happen, we lost it there, losing three missed free
That's
throws.
5 points and 2 possessions.
That's
You
right.
know, it's 5 points and 2 possessions, and
It's his first playoff.
I mean, I do think
series or first year in the playoffs. You know,
Sure. I mean, I get that, and he was the hero of Game 3. With his 27 points, and he's 22. And it's sometimes you forget that, but
Well, and he had to come off the bench completely cold because Neesmith fouled out, and then he was thrown into the game right away.
and it was a complete debacle. I mean, it's just awful. You missed some free throws, but the off ball fouls.
We compounded our mistakes there at the end, and it was just it was a tough way to close, and we end up with a 30-foot Holly 3 to see if we can make something happen, and misses that. Game, set, match.
oh, like a couple positive. One was Obi Toppin was really fun for a good portion of the game, and
He's amazing. He's amazing.
yeah, he's just an incredible athlete. And when I see him, I just have come to really like having him on this team, and for just more reasons than before. But he's also that, like, during the intros, he's the handshake guy. When Boomer comes down from the ceiling, he catches Boomer and does a little handshake with him every time, and he just comes out of nowhere. It's such a bolt of energy into the to the game and the crowd. When he gets going, whether it's a dunk or either it's a putback, an alley oop, or
Chase down block,
or maybe he'll just light you up from the 3-point line too.
Right. Or maybe he'll dunk
Or
in
like-
your face again.
Yeah, or like bowling you over if your name is Alex Caruso.
And also, I just think it's super cool that we can have a bench guy where the arena's chanting his name, and like deservedly so. I think that really speaks to our depth that we got guys like that. Like, and there's been an Obi Toppin game this year when I think I watched it at your house.
Yeah, the Minnesota game. Yeah.
The Minnesota game when everybody was hurt or not playing, and
Yeah.
Obi Toppin was
Drop
like,
30.
"Oh yeah, I got this. Just hop on my back. Let's go."
It's a game where you're like, we're not going to win this. Wait, we're going to win this game.
But he really shined this game. Halliburton, I thought played well at times, but again at the end it was the offense was broken. So
Yeah.
and really like the last couple shots, like I think Turner had one and Halliburton had one that, like, I don't know if they even drew iron. Like, they weren't good shots. Like,
They did not.
I don't know if they were,
They were fine shots. They just weren't. I mean, as far as
They were good
The
looks.
the
look.
amount of room they had from the defense, the
Yeah.
look was good. But
the look was
I mean,
fine.
Shot was
Miles
not
Turner
great.
was broke all game. What was he? 0 of 8, I think. From the
I think
range?
0 of 6,
6
and 1
from
of
the range.
7 for Holly, so 1 of 13 between them.
But then Miles also hit the most difficult shot that he took.
Right.
That weird step back fadeaway,
He
basically
was
off
got
one
Holmgren
leg.
on that thing too, wasn't he? Like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and Halliburton was 1 of 7 for 3. The one he hit was that logo one from the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
So he hit one, and it was the hardest one.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I thought he had that running layup going there at the end of the fourth. I thought he was he had some really difficult shots down the stretch, and I thought, oh, here we go again.
Yeah. I mean, Lou Dort is a beast, and
That guy's a
just, I mean, he's basically holds both of Tyrese's arms, like when he's off the ball, and so all game Tyrese is having to fight through that to get open to even get the ball, and yeah, I think he had 5 turnovers, uncharacteristic, and
Well, the steal, the Dort steal that kind of sealed the game was. I mean, did you guys? Can you see the replay where he just basically checks? He just pushes Halliburton and grabs the ball.
There was that Caruso one too, where he
he
they-
reaches all the way around him and then slaps him with the other hand.
yeah. I was kind of chuckling at the video team seemed to be having a fun time with the refs tonight. They just kept showing those replays over and over and just get really amping the crowd up for. Normally, I don't think they do that so much.
They were not showing them over and over again.
They
on
were
television.
showing them repeated, like that Caruso one. They probably showed 5 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure that there were lots of people at home wondering why we were booing so incredibly loud.
well, and then did they show? You said you missed the first quarter, Colson, because there was this play where I think it was Matherin was at the line, and Halliburton and Dort are sort of at the 3-point line, and all of a sudden you just see Halliburton just go flying backwards. And then you look at the replay, and it's like Dort like elbowed him and then slapped him in the face,
And the ref was
knocked him
2
back
feet
here.
away.
And the ref is just like, "What?" And so Carlisle and Halliburton are like, "What the like? Nothing? Nothing. We're just going with nothing on this one." And the ref is like, "Yeah, nothing, man." It's like we gotta extend the series, you know. Yeah, it's frustrating.
Right.
Frustrating stuff.
When they called the flagrant, was it Toppin on Caruso?
Yep.
And they were showing that over and over again, and people were like, "How is this a flagrant? How is this a flagrant?" And I'm like, "Because he's fucking Caruso. He's just this little whiny and small and white, and it's just I don't know." Yeah,
That's
he
a
sells it
post
though.
to get you a call. But actually, the funniest part about that is while they were looking at the replay, Boomer goes down to exactly where Caruso went
That's
down
hilarious.
and started flopping around like a fish. That was
That's
pretty
great.
good. It was
And that didn't make the broadcast?
No.
shout out Boomer.
What other random notes? There were some former Pacers in the crowd. Derek McKee got the best
yeah.
seats.
Oh, yeah.
somehow.
He got the best seat.
And then Reggie was there, of course. He also had good seats. And then they stuck Dale Davis and Travis Best and Austin Crozier up in the suite with Billy Keller and Darnell Hillman. Was that
Yep.
it? That was all the former
And
Pacers?
Jalen Rose was
Oh,
there.
Jalen Rose was there too. Yeah.
He was
Oh,
down
wow.
low.
Nice. What about Hibbert?
I mean, I heard he said he was going to be there. I didn't see him on camera.
I didn't see him on camera either. I didn't see Caitlin either.
Pat McAfee was there.
Pat
Pat was
McAfee
there.
hyped up the crowd by telling us what the odds were.
Did he get? They give him the mic?
That
Did they?
OKC was favored, but then brought it back and said we were the best fans. So it was kind of weird because it kind of took the momentum out of the crowd. I thought, right? I don't know. We were doing perfectly fine. We didn't need somebody to get us hyped for the last
Yeah, we didn't need a
2
hype
minutes
man
of
at
this
that
game
point.
where
Yeah,
we've been
we were-
standing up the entire game. Like,
Yeah, we were good, and it seemed like it made the timeout go long too. And I was just like, let's move this along. I do not want them resting. Like,
yeah.
more body blows, please.
Yeah. So, what do you guys think going into Game 5? I mean, we're 2-2, right?
We're
Yeah.
2-2.
So we got a 3-game series ahead of us.
Well, of all of the drunk assholes that were trying to make me feel better, the one comment was, if you at the beginning of the season knew you would be 2-2 in the finals, would you take that? And I was like, absolutely, of course. I hated giving back home court though.
Of course.
Yeah. I mean,
But-
the hard part was that you watching that game, that's a winnable game. And, and we've won
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of those games
Oh,
this
yeah.
year. So that's
They stole this
They
one.
did indeed steal this one, so that makes us 9-2 in the clutch games now, which is still an incredibly good record.
Mm-hmm.
but going up 3-1 is a hell of a lot different than sitting 2-2 going back to Oklahoma City.
Yeah, it kind of evens it out. I mean, we stole game 1, so.
We did, but
So
when,
what do you
you're
guys?
the dog, you
Yeah.
need some things to go your way,
Agreed,
man.
Agreed. I don't feel like. I mean, obviously, as McAfee told us, we are the dog from a betting perspective, but I don't think that the last 2 games, especially, we played toe to toe with them.
Yeah.
The entire game, and obviously going back to OKC, it's going to be tougher crowd. Maybe our role guys don't play as well, but I think everybody's playing with a lot of confidence. I think Ben Matherin's going to be fire pissed. He looked like he was going to murder somebody at the end of the game after he missed those free throws.
Well, I'm worried about him a lot actually, because I wonder what this does. I mean, I know that he doesn't lack confidence, but you essentially lost a finals game. I mean, you can't blame it all on him, but the fans are. The media is going to blame it on him.
I don't think so. I think that
don't go on Reddit then. Do not go on Reddit.
Well, just live and die by that.
They are
buddy.
losing their mind. Yeah.
I mean,
I was
You
doom
don't go on
scrolling before we got on here, and
do you even know how to get on
it
Reddit?
is-
I mean, if you want
I
to
couldn't
blame
figure
him,
out how to get out.
I would blame him for only taking 2 shots the entire game. Like he wasn't as aggressive as he was in game.
Just walk away.
Yeah.
They said he couldn't handle the moment. If we lose the finals, this is going to be haunting this entire team and him for the rest of his life. It was. I mean, it's awful.
The internet overreacted.
He's
Interesting.
Huh.
I mean, he wasn't expecting to be in that situation. Neesmith was supposed to be in
you
before,
think I was feeling some of those things watching it.
Well,
I just think this could go really poorly.
I agree with Jason. He's going to come out with some real fire in his belly and be ready to go make a statement.
But maybe too much.
In as much as OKC is really good about not losing games back to back, we sure as hell are too. And we're going to come out
That's fair.
and as a team make sure that we are prepared to play. We're going to what this team does is pick each other up. It's what makes this a great team and a great organization. And they're gonna be patting Ben on the butt and saying, hey, we got another game. That was not Game 7, right? So let's go back to OKC and give them what for.
Speaking of that, you reminded me of. So after Toppin got called for that flagrant foul, I think it was that one, or maybe it was the one where he got knocked on the head. He was over on the bench and clearly super upset, and Thomas Bryant just gave him the pep talk of a lifetime, and was just wouldn't let him fall into the wherever he was gonna go. It was just this great moment. I don't know if you guys saw it.
No,
it was while they were doing the replay.
Was he talking to Matherin or
to
Toppin?
Toppin, and so the whole bench is over there, but and Toppin is fire pissed, and so Brian just pulls him away. It's no, just basically doing the Pascal Siakam, what Pascal Siakam did to Thomas Bryant after the Eastern Conference Finals win.
Yeah.
It was I just thought it was a cool moment. That team is so locked in, and like you said, they just pick each other up. They have ultimate confidence in one another. Yeah.
One thing I guess I've been thinking really since the finals started is I want to call for now no changes in the roster for next season. I'm very happy. Obviously they're in the finals. But
Except for coaching change.
What's that? Oh, jeez. You think we could use Tibbs as an extra?
Yeah, I mean he's out there, man.
Well, the Knicks are looking for a coach, so they could just have Carlisle.
Yeah, exactly.
It's clearly
just
not good
trade
enough.
it out.
But I want to bring every single player back.
100%.
The vibes are 1,000. It's amazing.
I mean, most of those guys are most of the guys who play a lot of minutes are under contract.
Yeah,
but
Turner is saying
But Turner is the one. But
yes,
that's going to be the tough one. But
there was something I read
these guys would love
that
to
there are
play
hints that they're willing to go into the luxury tax. So.
Well,
And judging on the amount of money that was being spent, A, on tickets, and B, in the gift shop today, I
We
think
tried
we
to-
covered the luxury tax bill.
we tried to get in line to go to the gift shop before the game started, and it was like wrapped around the corner.
Yeah, it was like halfway around the concourse. It was wild.
So they made their money.
Yeah. Well, hopefully now we can afford a Miles Turner
That's right.
for 2026.
Yeah.
So, does anybody know what's going on with Miles? They said he's under the weather. What happened?
I think he's got a
just
cold
got,
or something.
Yeah, cold or flu or something.
He had whatever I had for like
Oh.
when I was on the houseboat. I gave it to him. Sorry.
Okay.
That was my bad. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, you broke his 3-point shot, so
Yeah. Yep. I blame me. I blame me for a lot of things in this loss. That's one of them.
Well, and you were struggling with your 3-pointers today before the game too.
I was. Well, I was just going to say that. Like, living in DC and going to games at Capital One Arena, which just has no character at all, and it's just the most generic arena. To come to a game here is like so cool. They have the Millennium Park. You can just go out there and you just shoot hoops before the game. It's like so amazing.
Yeah, that was fun.
And everybody's like super cool about it. It's like, whatever, yeah, it's good. Grab a rebound, do it. It's awesome. It was good. It was good vibes. And that crowd was doing their damnedest to will this team to a win, but just couldn't quite get it done. But 3-game series, we get one more game in the field house, guaranteed.
Yep.
And I would say the Pacers have responded very well to losses. You know, we haven't lost 2 in a row since, I don't know, whenever.
I think it was March, early March.
Long time ago. So, I mean, and I mean, OKC's, they do the same thing too. So it's not going to be easy either way, you know. But both teams have done well with that, and so it's been a back and forth series. But now if we're able to, you know, to take one on the road, you know, get ours back, make some adjustments, and then bring it back home and you know, finish the job here at Indy. We could be hoisting a trophy. And look, I called for Pacers in 6, and I'd accept that
Be all right with that.
because that would put me in the lead for whatever, nothing. We're not playing.
I'm now at this point rooting for a 7-game series.
What?
Before I wanted it to be over in 5, but now because if it goes 7 and we win, I'll be in town for the parade because I'm going to be in Indy the last week of June.
There you go.
So got to stretch this thing out.
Would you be okay if they won it in 6?
Yeah, I guess.
When do they usually do parades? Is it like
I don't know. I'm just
A day-
assuming sometime
couple days
the
after.
week
a couple
after.
days after? Yeah,
Yeah.
after they've gone to Vegas and.
What are they doing in Vegas?
I don't. I mean, I think a lot of those times, some of the teams like from the finals, like when you win, you just leave from there and go to the club. Like you go to Vegas, like directly from there.
Gotta go party.
Okay.
Yeah,
All Rodman teams for sure did that.
For sure.
Sometimes he didn't even wait for the games to be done.
That's right.
all right.
You gotta schedule extra time for Barry and the hookers. You know.
Don't you get a guy for that?
I mean, you'd think. Barry my own hookers. Who do you think I am?
Look at these hands. Do you think they've ever seen?
You think this is ever seen a shovel?
Well, it is too late. We should probably get out of here. Yeah, man. So overall, game was, you know, we wanted a different outcome. I still had a great time. Got to hang out with you guys. Got to meet.
It was a great game.
Yeah, we got to meet Jarrett and his crew, and and yeah, just get to chat it up for a little bit with him, and people are nuts, people are hype, and I mean, we're gonna bounce back from this. And if you think Game 6 isn't gonna be as crazy, then you are.
You're a damn fool.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, I had an air ball on the Millennium Park, and I dinged a kid right in the head.
Nice.
I promise it was an accident.
Head on a swivel. That's what I tell Ethan all the time. You gotta have head on a swivel.
You know what? It was a learning experience for that
That's right.
child.
Yep.
Is never turn your back to a 40-year-old guy who hasn't touched a basketball in a couple months. All right. Well, we're gonna get out of here.
Life
We're gonna
lessons.
we'll get back with you as soon as we can. Appreciate everyone listening out there, support, and hope you're having fun watching the team. And I mean, it's been. I mean, I don't know what the ratings are like, but I mean, this has been. If you like basketball, this has been an entertaining series. So, well, until
and
next
a magical
time,
season. And
yeah,
you're right.
I mean, it really has been.
2-2.
Until then, you can hit us up on Twitter. We are at Undebeatables, Facebook.com/The Undebeatables. The website is TheUndebeatables.com. There's also a contact form there. You can use that to send us a message, email, shout out at TheUndebeatables.com, and the website /store for merch. And we're on YouTube too.
For the architect, Donnie Walsh, and our once and always Hall of Fame coach, Bobby Sicklenard. Turn out the lights, the party's over.
I would have liked a Larry Bird sighting. I think that would have been fun. You don't think Tamika Catchings would get a...
That'd be a nice one too.
I mean, I'm guessing she's there.
Maybe a Peyton Manning to bring the house
Sure.
up. Come on.
Do you think Bird is in the building, but not
I don't know.
visible?
It's just like
Expand on that.
Is the power of invisibility.
I mean, like, does he have like
Cloak?
a secret chamber that he watches from?
watching
Like
underneath the
a
bleachers,
basketball creeper?
between people's legs or something.